LeBron always moves strange, not like Kobe. You heard that right. That wasn't just a rumor. That was Michael Jordan, the man who defined basketball greatness, sending a message, not just to LeBron James, but to all of us. See, this isn't just another story about two superstars. It's about power, pride, and the throne that one man built and another tried to claim. Today, we're unpacking the full story behind Jordan's quiet war against LeBron, from how MJ dismissed the chosen one hype, to the real reason Kobe got the mentorship LeBron never did. And finally, the shocking words Jordan said about LeBron and Diddy that changed everything. Trust me, this goes way deeper than basketball. Act 1, the chosen one versus the king. If you know anything about Michael Jordan, you know this. He wasn't just competitive, he was pathologically competitive. This man didn't just want to beat opponents, he wanted to humiliate them, to crush their spirit until they never challenged him again. And that kind of mindset, it doesn't vanish when you retire. It lingers, it hardens, it defines how you see everyone who comes after you. So picture this, the year is 2002. Jordan is watching TV, maybe flipping through Sports Illustrated. And there it is, a high school kid from Akron, Ohio, crowned the chosen one. Before he played a single NBA minute, LeBron James was being hailed as the next Michael Jordan, the next GOAT, the heir to the throne. And to Jordan, that wasn't flattery, that was an attack, because every headline about LeBron being next was a whisper that Jordan's reign was over. See, MJ's greatness wasn't built on hype, it was built on grit. He came up in 1984, fought through the bad boy Pistons, survived broken bones, and silenced critics who said he shot too much. He didn't get his crown from a magazine cover, he earned it, brick by brick, season after season. So when LeBron got the cover, the nickname, and the billion-dollar backing before proving anything, Jordan's blood boiled. Act 2, the man who never forgets. If you think Jordan let it go, think again. This is the same man who used his Hall of Fame speech, the biggest night of his life, to settle old scores with his high school coach. Leroy Smith was the guy who made the team when I got cut. I wanted to prove to the coach, you made a mistake, dude. That's not just petty, that's pathology. Jordan keeps receipts. So when the world crowned LeBron the chosen one, you can bet that moment got filed away deep inside his mental vault. And years later, when reporters asked about LeBron, MJ would smile politely, give a surface-level compliment, and then twist the knife. Between the two, that'd be a tough choice. But 5 beats 1 translation. Respectfully, sit down. Act 3, the empire and the threat. To understand the depth of Jordan's reaction, you need to understand what LeBron was threatening. Because Michael Jordan didn't just dominate basketball, he reshaped what it meant to be a sports icon. Before him, athletes were famous. After him, they were brands. Air Jordan, Gatorade's Be Like Mike, Space Jam. He built a cultural empire, not just a career. So when LeBron's hype machine rolled in, Nike, ESPN, Jay-Z, billion-dollar talk, MJ didn't see a kid chasing greatness. He saw a corporate-engineered heir trying to inherit a throne that wasn't up for grabs. See, Jordan's not afraid of competition. He's afraid of revision. He doesn't want the story rewritten because he already wrote the perfect ending. 6 rings, 6 finals, MVPs, undefeated when it mattered most. LeBron's arrival wasn't just another player, it was a threat to the mythology. Act 4, cold respect, warmth denied. Now, let's talk relationships, because if you notice, LeBron has never had one with Jordan, ever. On the Pat McAfee Show, 2025. You and Michael in a good spot? Who? Me and Michael Jordan? Yeah, we're in a good spot. But that tone, that wasn't warmth, that was distance, and that's strange. Because every great gets welcomed into the brotherhood eventually. Magic had Bird, Shaq had Kareem, Kobe had Jordan. But LeBron, he's the outsider, the kid who never got invited to the cookout. Act 5, why Kobe got the crown. Now let's flip the page, because there was someone Jordan embraced, Kobe Bryant. From day one, Kobe didn't just idolize MJ, he studied him. He copied the footwork, the fadeaway, even the tongue-out swagger. He called Jordan at 3 a.m., asked about moves, mindset, angles, pain. He didn't just want to play like Mike. He wanted to think like Mike. And Jordan, he saw himself in Kobe, that cold-blooded mentality, that I'd rather die than lose energy. LeBron, meanwhile, was different. He was generous. He passed the ball. He empowered teammates. To the average fan, that's leadership. To Jordan, that's weakness. Because in Jordan's world, the alpha dog takes the shot, no matter what. The killer instinct isn't about sharing, it's about ending. That's why MJ never warmed up to LeBron. Because LeBron wanted to be LeBron, not the next Jordan. And ironically, that independence, the very thing that makes LeBron great, is what kept him out of Jordan's circle. Act 6. He moves strange. Then came the quote that broke the internet. LeBron always moves strange. Not like Kobe. And when the Diddy stuff came out, I knew I was right. That wasn't tabloid gossip. That was Michael Jordan, the GOAT himself, casting a shadow over LeBron's image. See, to understand this, you need to remember what the Diddy stuff meant. By 2025, music mogul Diddy was facing serious legal charges, multiple allegations of abuse and exploitation, the kind of scandal that turns late-night parties into PR disasters. And years earlier, LeBron had been seen joking around with Diddy on Instagram Live. Everybody know, ain't no party like a Diddy party. It was harmless at the time, until it wasn't. When the lawsuits hit, that old clip resurfaced, and suddenly Jordan's words, "When the Diddy stuff came out, I knew I was right," felt loaded. Because to Jordan, image isn't an accident, it's everything. This is the man who built his legacy on control, who avoided political stances for decades to protect his brand. To him, every move mattered. So when he saw LeBron mix fun, politics, celebrity, and activism all in one package, he didn't see evolution, he saw instability. In MJ's mind, LeBron moves strange because LeBron plays a different game, one of influence, power, and visibility that Jordan never trusted. Act 7. Silence speaks louder. But maybe the most telling part of their story is what never happened. Jordan never mentored LeBron, never offered guidance, never gave him the public blessing. And in NBA culture, that silence means everything. Because when legends anoint successors, it's like being knighted. Magic passed the torch to Kobe, Kareem to Shaq. Bill Russell used to personally hand the finals trophy to new champions. But Jordan, he never passed that torch to LeBron. And that silence became a story on its own. Every time LeBron was crowned by the media, fans would ask the same question. If he's the GOAT, why doesn't Jordan acknowledge him? And MJ? He didn't need to answer. His silence was the answer. Act 8. Behind the beef. Now, don't get it twisted. This tension, it's not new to the NBA. Rivalries are the heartbeat of the league. Magic and Bird, Isaiah and Jordan, Shaq and Kobe. Every era needs its drama. It's what keeps the myth alive. But Jordan versus LeBron is different because this isn't about two players fighting for a ring. It's about two eras fighting for immortality. Jordan represents the old code, earn everything, say nothing, kill everyone in silence. LeBron represents the new code, speak your mind, control your narrative, build empires while playing. And that's the paradox. LeBron has done everything right, and Jordan still won't let him in. Act 9. Emotional evidence. Remember when Kobe passed away in 2020? Jordan stood on that stage, tears streaming down his face. He was like a little brother to me. Those weren't rehearsed words. That was raw pain. Because Kobe earned that spot in Jordan's heart. He mirrored MJ's hunger. He sought the hard way. He wanted Jordan's respect and got it. But LeBron, he grew up idolizing MJ too. He called him the GOAT. He said Jordan made him pick up a basketball. And yet, no mentorship, no phone calls, no brotherhood, just polite distance and a shadow that never fades. Act 10. Legacy, pride, and validation. In the end, this story isn't about who's better. It's about what greatness means to each man. For Jordan, greatness is domination, proving you're the best and staying untouchable. For LeBron, greatness is evolution, using power to uplift others and outlast time. But one thing ties them together. They both want validation. LeBron wants Jordan's blessing. Jordan wants to protect the legend he built. And that's why the GOAT debate never dies. Because this was never just about numbers. It was about validation withheld. When Michael Jordan built his throne, he decided who got to sit beside him. He chose Kobe Bryant, not LeBron James. And that single decision changed basketball culture forever. So now we're left with the question that echoes across every barbershop, every podcast, every comment section online. If Michael Jordan never passed the torch, does LeBron still get to wear the crown? Maybe that's the final twist in this saga, because while Jordan ruled with control, LeBron reigns with endurance. 6 for 6 versus 20 years of dominance. Empire versus evolution. The king who built the throne and the king who refused to wait for permission. And maybe, just maybe, that's the exact story Michael Jordan was trying to warn us about. See, when Jordan said LeBron always moves strange, not like Kobe, it wasn't a random jab. It was a warning, because Michael Jordan doesn't talk casually. Every sentence is a chess move. Every quote is a headline waiting to happen. To the public, it sounded like shade. But to those who understand Jordan, it was a statement of philosophy. He was saying, greatness isn't just about how you play. It's about how you move, how you carry yourself when no one's watching. That's what he respected in Kobe. That's what he never saw in LeBron. Act 11. Earned, not given. Jordan's entire identity is built on a chip on his shoulder. He wasn't born into the throne. He built it. Cut from his high school team. Drafted third, behind Hakeem and Sam Bowie. Called selfish for shooting too much. Called soft for crying in the locker room after losing to Detroit. Every insult became fuel. Every doubt became ammunition. So when he watched a teenager from Akron get crowned King James before a single game, he couldn't stomach it. Because to MJ, greatness without suffering isn't greatness. It's privilege. And privilege, in Jordan's world, is poison. Act 12. The control freak. Now, here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Michael Jordan is a control freak. Always has been, always will be. Every image, every quote, every handshake, calculated. Every teammate, every brand, every story, curated. He built his legend like a luxury watch. Precision, discipline, perfection. So when LeBron came along, vocal, political, outspoken, tweeting his opinions, hosting the shop, speaking about social issues, Jordan flinched. Not because LeBron was wrong, but because it was risky. MJ avoided politics for decades. When asked why he never endorsed a black candidate, he joked, "Republicans buy sneakers too." That one line summed him up. He didn't play culture wars, he played legacy. So when LeBron started mixing activism and basketball, Jordan didn't see evolution. He saw vulnerability. He saw a crack in the armor that he himself had spent a lifetime polishing. And that's when the respect gap widened. Act 13. The Diddy connection. Narrator, slightly faster pace. Then came the Diddy comment. When Jordan said, "When the Diddy stuff came out, I knew I was right," the internet lost its mind. Because those weren't the words of a man spreading gossip. Those were the words of a man confirming suspicion. In his eyes, LeBron's world, the parties, the entourage, the social media spotlight, was dangerous. Diddy's downfall was proof. And remember, to Jordan, image is everything. He once said, "I never wanted to give anyone leverage over how they saw me." That's why you never saw Jordan partying at 3 a.m. That's why you never saw him on Instagram Live. LeBron? Different era, different rules. He lives in the age of visibility. Jordan ruled in the age of mystery. And when Jordan saw that clip, LeBron laughing, saying, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party," he didn't see a moment of fun. He saw a flaw in the code. Act 14. Legacy Guardian. Michael Jordan isn't just the GOAT. He's the gatekeeper of greatness. In his mind, there's a checklist: talent, discipline, ruthlessness, no excuses, no shortcuts. Kobe passed that test. LeBron didn't. To MJ, LeBron's world is too friendly, too open, too emotional. He hugs opponents. He posts cryptic tweets. He calls himself the king. Jordan never did that. He didn't need to, because his crown wasn't self-proclaimed. It was earned through blood, sweat, and humiliation. And that's the irony. LeBron's humility, his willingness to share credit, to lift others, is exactly what makes him loved. But to Jordan, it's what disqualifies him. That's the difference between admiration and validation. Jordan admired LeBron's achievements. He never validated his claim. Fact 15. The NBA's oldest language. If you zoom out, this entire feud makes perfect sense, because the NBA speaks one ancient language: beef. Magic versus Bird wasn't just a rivalry. It was East Coast versus West Coast, grit versus glamour, the 80s in motion. Jordan versus Isaiah Thomas? That was personal. Thomas froze him out of the All-Star game. Jordan returned the favor by keeping him off the Dream Team. Shaq versus Kobe? Two champions on one team who couldn't share the spotlight. Beef fuels legacy. It gives fans something to argue about forever, and in that sense, Jordan versus LeBron is the final, eternal beef. Because this time, it's not about who wins more games. It's about who defines basketball itself. Act 16. The torch that never passed in sports. There's a tradition. The old guard passes the torch. It's symbolic. It's sacred. Russell to Kareem. Magic to Kobe. Kobe to who? For a long time, it was supposed to be LeBron, the kid from Akron, the prodigy who fulfilled the prophecy. But Jordan never passed that torch. He passed it to Kobe, with tears in his eyes. Kobe was my little brother. I loved him. He never said that about LeBron. Not once. And that silence echoed louder than any speech. It told the world, you can break every record. You can score the most points. You can play 20 years. But if Michael Jordan doesn't acknowledge you, you'll always be chasing his shadow. Act 17. The Myth Factory. Let's be honest. This isn't just basketball anymore. It's mythology. The Jordan brand is a religion. The Last Dance was scripture. And LeBron, he's the heretic who dared to challenge the god. Every time LeBron breaks a record, the debate reignites. Is he the GOAT? Did he pass Jordan? Whose era was tougher? It's exhausting and eternal, because Jordan's approval became a gate to basketball heaven, and LeBron's greatness exists on the other side of it, without the key. That's what makes this story powerful. LeBron doesn't need the blessing anymore. But the fact that he still hasn't gotten it makes him human. It keeps the fire burning and the debate alive. Act 18, the twist of fate. Here's the twist nobody saw coming. LeBron's longevity may be doing what Jordan feared most, rewriting the definition of greatness. Not domination, not perfection, but endurance. Because while Jordan's career was lightning, bright, violent, unforgettable, LeBron's has been a solar eclipse, slow, steady, inescapable. 20-plus years at the highest level, 4 championships, all-time scoring record, no scandal, no fall-off. He didn't need Jordan's approval. He outlasted it. Act 19. What Jordan really warned us about. So when Jordan said, LeBron always moves strange, maybe he wasn't warning us about LeBron the man. Maybe he was warning us about the era, the new kind of athlete, the new kind of fame, the kind he could never control. See, in Jordan's day, image was power. In LeBron's day, transparency is power. Jordan hid emotions. LeBron shares them. Jordan built mystery. LeBron builds movements. Jordan wanted control. LeBron wants connection. That's the difference between gods and kings. Gods rule from above. Kings rule among their people. And that's what unsettles Michael Jordan the most. LeBron didn't dethrone him. He changed the throne entirely. Act 20, the final shot. In 1998, Jordan hit the shot over Byron Russell. It sealed his 6th championship. It sealed his legend. That was his perfect ending, his final chapter. LeBron's story isn't like that. It doesn't end with a single shot. It's a marathon, not a moment. And maybe that's why their legacies clash. Because one is mythic and the other is mortal. One man became the god of basketball. The other, its evolution. So when Jordan warned us about LeBron, maybe he wasn't warning us about his flaws. Maybe he was warning us about his future, a future where basketball's greatest no longer need his permission. Epilogue. The king without a crown. Michael Jordan built the throne. He wrote the rules, and for decades he guarded it like a fortress. Then came LeBron James, the kid from Akron who refused to bow. He didn't break in. He didn't steal the crown. He simply kept climbing until he stood beside it. And that's the truth Jordan can't control, because you can't outscore time. You can't outjump legacy. You can only hope your story is told first. Jordan's warning wasn't about LeBron failing. It was about him succeeding differently. The era of the flawless god is over. Now begins the era of the human king. And maybe, just maybe, that's what scares Michael Jordan most. This isn't the end of the GOAT debate. It's the evolution of it. And whether you ride with Jordan or LeBron, one thing's for sure: basketball has never been the same.